Have you ever stopped to think that within you lives a silent doctor, one who never sleeps, never rests, and never makes a mistake in prescribing? From the very first beat of your heart until this very moment, that inner doctor has sustained your life without you even asking. This video is not about something external, nor about expensive medicine or miraculous solutions. It's about a secret Joseph Murphy revealed with clarity. The body obeys the mind, and the subconscious is the true physician that directs every vital process. If the title brought you here, know that you're in the right place. What you're about to discover today can forever change the way you understand health, energy, and healing. But first, reflect. If your mind had the power to alter your body, to strengthen your immunity, to restore your organs, would you be using that power consciously, or wasting it without realizing? Joseph Murphy, a worldwide reference in teachings about the subconscious, said that human beings are the sovereigns of their own bodies. With every word you repeat, with every image you hold in your mind, you are giving orders that your inner doctor fulfills without question. Think about simple examples. When someone constantly repeats, "I'm tired, I have no energy," the body obeys and manifests that fatigue. But when a person declares, "Life flows through me with strength, every cell renews in perfect order," the body obeys as well. The only difference is the order given. This is the beginning of our journey, awakening the awareness that health doesn't come from outside, but from the inner dialogue you establish with your subconscious. So, close this first chapter with a powerful truth. Within you lives a silent doctor, always ready to obey your words. It's up to you to decide which decrees it will carry out. If this message resonated with you, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And write in the comments, "I activate my inner doctor," to declare this commitment in your life. There exists a forgotten language that stretches back through the centuries. A form of communication so natural that we all once used it without realizing, but over time it fell asleep within us. This language is the inner dialogue with your own body. From childhood, we learn how to speak with others, to explain ideas, to defend opinions. But almost never are we taught to direct conscious words toward ourselves, especially to the body that sustains us. The truth is, the organism has always been listening, registering each word as a silent command. Joseph Murphy explained that the subconscious is like a permanent translator. It does not question, it does not analyze, and it does not argue. It simply receives instructions and turns them into physical reality. That is why when someone constantly repeats, "I never have energy," or "My health is weak," the body obeys and begins to reflect exactly those orders. But when you rediscover the secret language and affirm with clarity, "Every cell breathes life, my blood flows in perfect harmony," the subconscious accepts it as law, and the body responds by aligning itself with that decree. This language does not require complicated words. On the contrary, it works best when it is simple, direct, and present. The clearer the command, the faster the body responds. And when you unite the word with gratitude, the effect multiplies, because gratitude transmits to the subconscious the certainty that the decree is already fulfilled. The ancients knew this. They used prayers, mantras, affirmations. Not as empty repetitions, but as keys to awaken inner healing. Murphy simply translated this wisdom into modern terms, reminding us that each of us carries a silent doctor, always waiting for instructions. When you speak to your body with faith and true emotion, you are reclaiming that forgotten language. You are taking back the scepter of power that has always been in your hands. Because every word is received as law, and every law is faithfully carried out by your subconscious. Inside you there exists a silent intelligence, an invisible force that works day and night without asking for permission. This force is the subconscious. It is the guardian of the original blueprint of your health and carries within itself the power to regenerate what seems lost. Think of your body for a moment. When you get a cut, you do not need to consciously order the skin to close. The subconscious already holds the perfect plan and immediately begins the healing process. The same happens with cells that renew, bones that rebuild, tissues that strengthen. There is an inner wisdom guiding every detail of your biology. Joseph Murphy taught that this power of regeneration is not outside, in expensive medicine or miraculous cures, but within every human being. The subconscious holds the memory of balance, the program of perfect health, and it only needs clear commands to activate those resources. When you declare, "My body restores itself in harmony, my health renews now," these words are not just sounds. They reach the subconscious as commands that awaken hidden mechanisms. Your conscious mind does not need to know how, because the subconscious already knows the way. Modern science confirms this in astonishing ways. Studies show that simply believing in recovery accelerates physiological processes, strengthens the immune system, and even improves response to medical treatments. The body responds to what the mind believes. And here lies the key: the subconscious never argues. It does not analyze whether what you affirm seems possible or not. It simply obeys. It is like an architect who already has all the blueprints prepared and only waits for the command to begin building. Regeneration, therefore, is not a mystery reserved for a few. It is the natural law inscribed within you. What limits its action is not lack of power, but lack of clear instructions. When you speak with faith, gratitude, and conviction, the subconscious awakens this power and your life begins to blossom from the inside out. There is an invisible force that awakens the deepest resources of the body, and that force has a simple name: faith. Not blind or superstitious faith, but the inner conviction that life flows within you with order and power. Joseph Murphy explained that faith is the switch that activates the hidden processes of healing. Without it, words are weak, like decrees without a royal seal. But when faith accompanies the word, the subconscious receives it as an unbreakable law. It is as if every cell of the body rises in obedience to carry out the command. Think of what happens when someone firmly believes they are doomed by illness. Their body begins to decline, their energy fades, their vitality drains away. Now imagine the opposite: someone who decides to declare with conviction, "My health blossoms, my life renews every day." Faith ensures those words do not remain on the surface but penetrate deeply, awakening regenerative forces that were once dormant. Faith does not ask for external guarantees, it is itself the guarantee. When you speak with faith, you do not wait to see first and then believe, you believe first, and then you see. This is the secret found across scriptures, ancient teachers, and Murphy's teachings: the mind, united with faith, becomes a creative power. Science also bears witness to this principle. The so-called placebo effect is clear proof. When someone believes they are receiving medicine, even if it is just a neutral substance, their body reacts as if it were truly being healed. What heals is not the pill, but the faith that awakens the inner doctor. That is why speaking to your body without faith is like sowing in dry soil. But when you unite your words with conviction, you plant in fertile ground. The subconscious responds immediately, organizing processes, balancing systems, and releasing vital energy. Faith is the key that opens the doors of the invisible. And when you put it into motion, you discover that you have never been alone. There is within you a faithful ally, ready to obey the commands that your faith seals with conviction. The body does not act by chance, it faithfully responds to what the mind believes to be true. Joseph Murphy taught that the conscious mind is like a sower, and the subconscious is the fertile field that makes everything planted grow. Every belief, whether of health or illness, of strength or weakness, becomes law for the body. Think of how many times you have heard someone say, "In my family, everyone has this disease, it's inevitable that I will have it too." That conviction, repeated and accepted, eventually manifests in the body as if it were a sentence. It is not genetic inheritance that has the final word, but the belief we nurture about it. In the same way, when someone chooses to believe that life flows through them with order and harmony, that faith creates new pathways of vitality. The subconscious does not judge whether the belief is true or false, fair or unjust, it simply obeys. And the body, like a loyal servant, reflects what it has been commanded. Science also confirms this law. People who firmly believe in their recovery tend to heal faster than those who surrender to fear and despair. It is not magic, it is the mind directing invisible physiological processes, organizing the body's chemistry according to what it considers true. Murphy said that the body is a mirror of the mind. If your mind believes in limitation, the body shows signs of limitation. If your mind believes in renewal, the body finds ways to restore itself. Each cell responds like a disciplined army to the orders of the invisible general who commands from the throne of the mind. This is why changing beliefs is not merely a psychological exercise but an act of healing. When you replace ideas of illness with decrees of health, when you exchange thoughts of defeat for affirmations of victory, you are altering the course of the river that nourishes your body. The body always obeys what the mind believes. This is the silent law that governs inner life. And from the moment you decide to believe in health, strength, and divine order, your body will have no choice but to reflect this new reality. The words you speak are not just sounds lost in the air, they are living forces that penetrate the subconscious and shape the body. Joseph Murphy said that each phrase is like an invisible capsule carrying within it a specific power. When spoken with emotion, this capsule opens deep within the mind and releases a silent medicine that circulates throughout the being. Think of how many times you have said, "I am exhausted, I have no more strength." These words, though they may seem harmless, act like a subtle poison, imprinting the subconscious with decrees of weakness. The body obeys, energy drains away, and vitality diminishes. In contrast, when someone declares, "Each breath renews me, every drop of my blood flows in divine order," those words act as invisible medicine, producing immediate and profound changes. The secret lies in understanding that the subconscious does not distinguish between metaphor or reality, it only receives orders. If the orders are for health, it organizes internal processes to generate health. If the orders are for illness, it fulfills them with the same obedience. This is why guarding your words is as vital as guarding the food you put into your body. Murphy taught that a single affirmation charged with faith can transform more than 100 mechanical repetitions. It is not the number of times you speak but the intensity of conviction that gives life to the word. One phrase spoken with true feeling can spread through the bloodstream like a healing balm, restoring balance and bringing strength. Words are like medical prescriptions issued by the mind. Each one contains an instruction that the subconscious translates into physical reactions. That is why you must speak to the body not as one who begs but as one who decrees. The invisible medicine lies in the certainty, firmness, and gratitude with which you declare your truth. When you begin to treat your words as medicine, your inner life changes. You discover that you do not need to seek outside for what already exists within, the secret pharmacy of the soul. And each time you speak decrees of health, your mind responds, your blood obeys, and the body reorganizes itself in harmony. Among all the feelings capable of transforming life, gratitude holds a unique place. Joseph Murphy said that gratitude is faith in its highest form, because it already considers the result fulfilled. While supplication comes from lack, gratitude is born from certainty. And whatever you accept with gratitude in your heart, the subconscious treats as an accomplished fact. When you speak to your body with gratitude, the command carries special weight. It is not the same to say, "I want my health to improve," and to say, "Thank you because my health already blossoms within me." The first is an uncertain request, the second is a decree of fulfillment. The subconscious knows the difference and responds accordingly. Science confirms this principle. Studies show that people who regularly practice gratitude experience improvements in mood, sleep, and even immune function. It is as if the chemistry of the blood is infused with a purer vibration when the mind is tuned to thankfulness. Murphy compared gratitude to a spiritual elixir. Every time you give thanks, you are taking in a dose of invisible strengthening. This elixir circulates through the body via the bloodstream, carrying balance and vitality. External circumstances do not matter, because gratitude always plants within you the seeds of abundance and health. The practice is simple but powerful. Upon waking, declare with a calm voice, "Thank you because my life flows in perfect order." Before sleeping, affirm, "Thank you because my body restores itself in peace and harmony." These phrases, infused with gratitude, do not remain in the air, they sink into the subconscious and become instructions for renewal. Gratitude is the most powerful seal you can place upon your words. It is the silent confirmation that what you affirm is already real. And when you choose to live in this state of recognition and celebration, your body has no choice but to reflect that abundance. The mind has a language that goes beyond words, the language of images. Joseph Murphy taught that the subconscious responds even more quickly and powerfully to vivid images than to scattered phrases. Whatever you visualize clearly, especially when accompanied by emotion, is recorded as a detailed blueprint that the body seeks to reproduce. When you speak to your body, you can multiply the power of your words by joining them with an image. It is not enough to affirm, "My health blossoms." You must also see, within yourself, your body functioning in harmony, your blood circulating like a river of light, every cell glowing with vitality. The more real this scene appears in your mind, the more the subconscious accepts it as truth. Murphy explained that the subconscious does not distinguish between an experience lived and one vividly imagined. If you see yourself weak, drained, and without energy, the body responds to that image. But if you see yourself strong, breathing deeply, walking with vigor, the body obeys the new vision. The image is the silent command that shapes reality. Science also supports this principle. Elite athletes mentally rehearse their movements before competitions, and the body responds as if it had truly trained. The brain and nervous system register visualization as real practice. In the same way, when you imagine your health renewed, the subconscious begins to adjust physical processes to align with that vision. The practice is simple: close your eyes, breathe deeply, and see yourself as you wish to be. Visualize your heart beating strong and steady, your lungs filled with pure air, your skin clear and healthy, your mind at peace. Repeat calmly, "Every cell obeys the divine plan of life within me." Let the image and the word merge until they become an inner certainty. Visualization is more than imagination, it is conscious creation. It is drawing in the invisible the plans the body will obey in the visible. And the more disciplined you are in cultivating images of health, the sooner you will notice that they cease to be mere dreams and become reality. Every cell in your body is like a small worker within a vast kingdom. They are not merely automatic biological structures, they are living units that respond to the tone of your mind and the command of your words. Joseph Murphy said that when you speak to yourself with clarity and conviction, every cell listens as if it were a loyal servant awaiting orders. See yourself as the sovereign of this inner kingdom. When you decree with faith, "My cells are filled with life and strength," the command travels through your blood and reaches every tissue. These words do not remain in the air, they translate into impulses, emotions, and chemical reactions that renew and reprogram the body. Vitality that once seemed dormant awakens like a rekindled flame. Modern science confirms this reality. Studies show that emotional states directly influence cellular functioning. Negative emotions can weaken defenses, but words of encouragement, combined with positive emotions, activate responses of repair and balance. It is as if each cell had invisible ears, always attentive to the inner dialogue you maintain. To practice, choose moments of silence and speak to your body softly or mentally. Declare, "Every cell in my body obeys the divine order of life." Visualize your cells as tiny lights shining in harmony, renewing themselves at every moment. The more you repeat with gratitude and certainty, the more the subconscious will record this language as an unbreakable command. Speaking to your cells is reminding the body of its own wisdom. It is awakening in it the original program of vitality already inscribed since birth. The secret is not to shout commands, but to pronounce them with calm faith, as one who already knows they will be obeyed. Each word you speak can become a breath of life. Each decree can ignite a spark of energy in millions of cells. And when all of them respond in unison, you experience the true sensation of vitality, not as something distant, but as the natural expression of life that has always been within you. Not every command needs to be spoken aloud. There is immense power in what you affirm in silence, in the phrases that only your mind hears. Joseph Murphy explained that the subconscious makes no distinction between a word spoken in public and a decree whispered only in the heart, it obeys both with the same faithfulness. The silent command is what you pronounce within yourself when you close your eyes and declare, "My body reorganizes in perfect harmony." Even if no one around notices, your mind records it, your subconscious embraces it, and your blood carries that instruction to every cell. Silence, far from being weakness, is an even purer channel, because it concentrates all attention and emotion in one single point. Think of a calm lake. A stone thrown into its waters creates ripples that spread to the edges. This is how the silent command works. A simple mental phrase generates invisible waves that travel throughout your body. These waves need no sound, only clear intention and deep conviction. The secret is to transform silence into an ally. Whenever you feel fear, pain, or doubt, turn inward and declare, even without moving your lips, life flows in me with divine order. Each time you do this, the subconscious reprograms old patterns and replaces decrees of disorder with commands of health and balance. This is how inner health is strengthened, not only through words spoken aloud, but also through phrases that echo silently within you. What matters is not the volume, but the clarity and certainty with which you communicate with your mind. In the end, there is no empty silence. There is always a dialogue happening in your mind. If that dialogue is chaotic, the body will reflect confusion. But if you learn to plant phrases of order and vitality in silence, your body will obey, reprogramming itself little by little until it blossoms in balance. For centuries, humanity saw faith and science as opposites, as if one belonged to the invisible and the other to the visible, never meeting. But Joseph Murphy taught something revolutionary. True healing happens when faith and inner science walk side by side, like two wings lifting the same flight. Faith is deep conviction, the act of accepting as real what has not yet manifested. It is the trust that a greater order sustains every cell, every heartbeat, every breath. Inner science, on the other hand, is the precise functioning of the subconscious, which obeys every decree as an unchanging law. When you unite these two powers, you create an alliance impossible to break. Think of a gardener. Faith is the certainty that the planted seed will bear fruit. Inner science is the fertile soil that knows exactly how to transform that seed into a tree. Without faith, the gardener does not plant. Without inner science, the seed does not sprout. But together, the result is inevitable. When you declare, "My health blossoms in divine order," faith colors your words with emotion, and inner science transforms them into reality, reorganizing invisible processes of the body. This union is what moves inner mountains, dissolving pain, balancing systems, renewing strength. Inner science never questions. It does not ask if you deserve it or if it is possible. It simply obeys. Faith, however, gives the tone, sets the direction, sustains the certainty. It is like the relationship between an architect and a builder. The architect designs, the builder executes. In the same way, your faith projects, and the subconscious builds in silence. That is why, when you feel your faith waver, remember that the subconscious continues to operate. And when you feel trapped by logical reasoning, remember that faith opens doors that reason cannot unlock. The balance lies in joining both forces. In the end, healing is not an isolated miracle. It is the natural result of faith that believes and inner science that executes. When you speak to your body with conviction, the invisible and the visible unite, and your whole life begins to reflect this powerful alliance. We have reached the deepest point of this journey. Now you know that within you lives a silent, tireless, obedient doctor who never stops serving. This doctor is your subconscious. It does not question, it does not argue, it does not hesitate, it simply fulfills the order you pronounce with faith. For a long time, you may have given decrees of weakness, limitation, and fatigue. Your body, faithful, only reflected those words. But today you have awakened to the truth. You can give new orders, and when the inner doctor obeys, life blossoms. Imagine your body as a garden. Before, the seeds you planted were of fear and doubt, and the fruits were of wear and disorder. But now you plant new seeds, health, vitality, balance. The garden begins to change, and with it, the whole landscape of your life. Joseph Murphy called this living in harmony with the law of inner command. It is not magic, it is natural order. Your mind projects, your subconscious obeys, your body blossoms. What once seemed impossible becomes real, not by chance, but because you learn to consciously use the authority of your word. The reordered life does not eliminate challenges, but it changes the way you face them. When pain arises, you no longer see it as an enemy but as a reminder that it is time to decree, every cell within me restores itself in divine order. And the inner doctor obeys. From this day on, you are no longer a spectator of your body, but the sovereign of your inner temple. Your words are royal decrees, your emotions are the ink that engraves them in the subconscious, and your blood is the faithful messenger that carries these decrees to every cell. Now it is your turn. Speak with faith. Declare life. Decree health. Because when the inner doctor obeys, life blossoms within you, and that is the true miracle. If this teaching touched you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here we will continue together, discovering the hidden power of the mind and the word. And write in the comments, "My inner doctor obeys me." This will be your first public decree of transformation.